Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? As usual, I'm your host, Richie T, also known as Richard T. And how are you all doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Excited to stream for y'all before heading my way out to Philadelphia. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the... You guys know the rest of the lyrics. So yeah, I'm going to Philly. I'm going to be playing in the team event. I'm going to be teaming with Josh, as you guys seen earlier, and also Josiah. Shout out to you guys. I know I tried to find a team pretty fast, and thank you guys for cooperating. You're the best. I will be playing Standard this weekend, but I already promised to play this deck for you guys, so I'm going to play this for you. Jeskai Tempo. I've been on a Tempo kick in Modern, as you all know, and we're going to continue that this week. Next week, maybe we'll get off the Tempo, play a little Control. Well, not next week, maybe the week after that, because next week's Super Friends week. And I got something pretty spicy one of my friends brewed up that I think I'm going to play for y'all. But let's get into the deck we're playing today, Jeskai Tempo. Your pretty typical Jeskai mana base and some fetches, some Jeskai colored shock lands, a fast land, a couple buddy lands. You know, your pretty typical modern mana base, a couple man lands and colonnades, and a couple Field of Ruins. For cantrips, we're just on 4 ops is all. We want to try to leave up mana as much as possible, that hence Tempo. Then for removal spells, we got 4 Bolt, 3 Helix, 4 Path. This is a pretty standard Jeskai removal suite. You know, Path is very good in the format. Bolt and Helix can help kill your opponent. I played this deck Wednesday and I really wanted a 4th Helix, but I just really don't know where to find the room. Maybe you guys can help me figure out how to add a 4th Helix to the deck. We got 2 Dovin's Vetoes for a little bit of extra permission alongside our Spell Quellers, which Dovin's Veto is just such a big addition to decks like this. The fact that it can't be countered, it just is like, get it out of here. So we have 4 Spell Quellers, which are really the reason to play this deck is the combination of Spell Queller and Tefferi Time Reveler, where you Spell Queller their spell, and then if they kill their Spell Queller while Tefferi's in play, they don't get their spell back. But also, if you -3 your Tefferi on your own Spell Queller, you reset your Spell Queller back to your hand so you can use it again, and you get to draw a card, and they don't get to cast their spell because it's Tefferi. So that's a really powerful interaction, and kind of the reason that this deck has been seen play again. Then we have 2 Nimble Obstructionists. A lot of people have asked why these aren't just Geist of St. Traft. Geist of St. Traft is what a lot of people like to call a 2 or 10 magic card, where it is either the best card in your deck and you want it every game, or it is the worst card in the matchup and you never want to see it. So that's the reason why I think I like Nimble Obstructionist more. This deck list came from Jeff Hoogland, by the way. He 10-0'd with this deck, and I seen it and thought it was really cool, so I wanted to try it. He's a big fan of Nimble Obstructionist, and I tend to agree with him. I think this card is very powerful. Stifle it, a 3-mana Stifle itself isn't good, but when you can also just play it out as a threat and just clock your opponent, that's when it becomes really efficient and helpful. Next up, we have 2 Vendilion Clicks for trying to take a peek at our opponent's hand. You've seen these in our Delver decks. Clicks are just very strong in this style of deck. 2 Resto Angels to try to get re-ETBs on our Snapcasters, our Clicks, our Obstructionists, and even tagging a more important spell with our Spell Queller. And then we also have 4 Snapcaster Mages to get back any of our interaction spells, and then 2 Grim Lavamancers as just a cheap additional removal spell that can also grind it out. How's it going, Dark Demon? Oh man, this is the one and only Richie T. You are correct. Moving on to the sideboard, we have a Disdainful Stroke for the Tron and big mana matchups. A Celestial Purge for really anything. I really like 2 Celestial Purges typically when I play Jeskai, but Hoogland only had 1, and we're going to run it. I can kind of see it. I don't really see many things that this I don't know. This card's always really good in Modern. Maybe one of these Detention Spheres should just be another Purge. I'm not 100% sure. We have an Abrade for artifacts and creatures, a Magma Spray. Really good against Arclight Phoenix, actually. I actually enjoy like a 1-2 of Magma Spray in the sideboard. Better than that scrub Josh from earlier. You're not wrong. Don't tell him I said that, though. I need him on my team this weekend. Go, Josh, go. Wink. We have 2 detention spheres for tagging a bunch of troublesome permanents. 3 surgical extractions for getting rid of those pesky graveyard cards like Arclight Phoenixes. On top of that, we have 2 Rest in Peace for the same reason. Rip hits a little bit harder, though. It does stop our Snapcaster mages, but in the matchups that we want it, typically that's fine, because if we don't have it, we really want to be able to snap back spells. And also, just like a 2-1 is a fine threat on its own. And then we have 2 Stony Silences for stopping the artifact decks, such as Urza or Affinity. So that's the deck. But before we get onto the games, as usual, we need to hop over and shout out our sponsor, MomsBasementGames.TCG Player Pro. They're the best one-stop shop for anything Magic-related you can need. Maybe you need some snow-covered swamps for a sweet 4-color Pestilence Pauper deck, which, you know, if we have some interest in Pauper, maybe I'll play that deck on stream sometime. Maybe you need a Plague Engineer for your human sideboard as of recently. A Talisman of Creativity for your Izzet Commander decks, or a Force of Virtue for when you want to pitch those Squadron Hawks and buff the other ones up. Mom's Basement Games has you covered. As well, all of you guys watching on YouTube in the future, thank you. Check down in that description box below for all the links that I'm going to be talking about, but check us out live on Twitch sometimes. I would super appreciate it. As well as everyone watching on YouTube in the future and all you watching on live on Twitch right now, thank you. Make sure to give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at MomsBasementMTG, and everyone watching on Twitch right now, check out our YouTube channel at some point for the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, and pauper content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter is at RichardTMTG. I talk about Magic, League of Legends, memes, anything else you might want to talk about, I'll talk about. We can even hop over here and see one of my wins in TFT, where I got a pretty sweet Assassins build going on. I've had a lot of fun playing TFT. I'm actually hoping to get my own stream up shortly so I can stream both TFT, Magic, and anything else I really feel like. On top of that, if you're looking for us on more forms of social media than just Twitter, check out Mom's Basement Games on Instagram, and you can also find me on Instagram at RichieT2196. Alright, but I think that's enough of me talking. How about we get into the action and play some sick Jeskai tempo. So yeah, tempo's like probably my favorite archetype in Magic. I am still playing Standard this weekend. I'm bouncing between either playing the Scape Shift deck, Mono Blue Tempo, or Mono Red. I'm not really sure what I want to play yet. The Scape Shift deck has not been testing very well for me on Arena, but it's been to like not drawing enough lands, which I don't really think should be an issue, because the deck plays 28 lands. So, who knows? Alright, we found an opponent, but we'll see if they find us as well. And they did. Alright, we're going to move this on over. Hit him with the GLHF. And we won the die roll. I would like to be on the play. Yeah, this is exactly what you sign up for when you play Jeskai Tempo. You know, you got a Snapcaster, a couple removal. Whoa. That was weird. So we're going to lead on our Colonnade tapped and pass. I'm used to, I was just playing some Arena earlier, and I'm used to, like, the card just moving, not the whole entire thing. Copperline Gorge Shriekhorn. This is going to be a tough game 1 to win. Dredge is a pretty tough matchup for decks like this. We will end up Field of Ruining them off. Probably this Copperline Gorge. But we shall see. They mill 2. Bloodghast Life from the Loam. Yikes. That's a pretty good mill. See, this is how I know that they're not a 100% experienced Dredge player. Since they hit the Life from the Loam, they actually should have Dredged first. Because now they could have Shriekhorned and potentially hit a Prized Amalgam to also put into play. And as you see, that would have exactly happened the way that I talked about. So they're missing out on getting this Prized Amalgam back for free. Yeah. Will I be seeing you there, Demon? Any chance I'll see you out in Philly this weekend? Yikes. Okay. Oh, they're playing the Hogak. Okay. The Hogak is not common, and it's actually something me and my friend group have discussed about, like, if it's correct or not to play. So this is super awkward. So he's going to come back. Then we're going to go ahead and path it. But it gets back this other Bloodcast. But we really need to be careful because we need to leave our paths in our... We need to leave a path in the yard for this Hogak. Yeah, like I said, this is a very tough game one. Why do I have a hold where? You mean at my end step? Oh, a hood. Ah. It's really cold in Josh's basement. Like, I'm actually freezing right now. So, I think the play is we're going to just play Field of Ruin and pass. And our plan is to probably just snap path here. Our opponent hits another dredge. So they haven't found much payoff, but they found a lot of lands. Hopefully they go for the Hogak here so we can just snap path it. Our opponent seems to be deciding what they want to do. Okay, so they choose to attack. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to choose not to block. We're going to then field them and bolt the Narcomoeba. Because bolting these Bloodghast doesn't really do a whole lot, since they just come back anyways. I could have snap pathed one of the Bloodghast, but I want to try to wait to get this Hogak. If I can't get it next turn, I'll probably just path one of these, because then he can't cast it. Yeah, it was actually something we were discussing in my group chat. We were not sure if it's even correct for this deck to play Hogak, because it doesn't really do a whole lot, because you have to take a whole turn out of combat. Which, in a deck, like, a deck built around Hogak, that's fine, because your creatures are a lot smaller and don't do as much, and you also don't have as much reach. Yeah, we're just gonna go to the next game. We're gonna bring in our 6 pieces of graveyard hate, and hope we can beat Dredge. So I don't want the extra Field of Ruin in this matchup, so we'll board that back out. Then what's not good against them? Lavamancer seems pretty rancid. Celestial Purge seems good. Stony does nothing. Stroke does nothing. Abrade doesn't do enough. Veto seems very medium against them. Obstructionist seems interesting. I don't really like click against them. Look, I know you're in the group chat, but everyone else doesn't know that. You're the main reason we talk about Dredge, even. For everybody watching in the future, Demons is my friend Michael, who pretty much only plays Dredge at this point. You have like 3 different modern decks, but that's like the only one you actually play. I think these obstructionists are probably just too cute in this matchup. Oh no, get your Twitch fixed. Fix that Twitch. I'm thinking we probably just trim 2 helixes now. Since we really just want to keep them off everything. I like Snap for surgical or Path. Actually, I think Teferi is worse than having Helix. Yeah. I think this is what we're going to try. Maybe we're not supposed to board out all of our Teferis, but Teferi seems very bad against our opponent, so I think going down to 1 is fine. I could even see boarding out the other one for an obstructionist, but I'm not sure how good obstructionist is. I mean, yeah, this hand seems great against Dredge. Double surgical, Celestial Purge, Detention Sphere. We're just going to hopefully not let them have any fun. The one thing we do have to be careful about is the burn plan out of them. And that's actually kind of a reason to want to leave in Lightning Helix. Is they can't... Or it's not that they can't, it's just a lot harder for them to burn you out with Creeping Chills and Conflagrates with Lightning Helix. If they mill over a Creeping Chill, I'm even like... I'll even surgical it. These aren't just for like their threats that come back. Although that's probably the best thing to target. It's not always the 100% correct thing. Yep. Go ahead and looting. The other thing with surgical is you just want to be patient. You want to tag their important things, but you also want to tag them at the best moment. So like, yeah, like I don't really care about their dredgers. They can dredge all they want. What I don't want them doing is I don't want them bringing things back. Would you guys agree with that? We're going to get a hollowed fountain here. And we will draw one of those Teferis that we talked about. So I actually made a small misplay because I didn't think about it. I should have had a stop in my... Okay, luckily we're not going to get punished. But I should have had a stop in my draw step for exactly them hitting Bloodghast and having a fetch land. Abrupt Decay, Conflagrate, Life from the Loam, Nature's Claim, Stinkweed Imp. So we're going to grab all these Bloodghast, and we're going to write down their hand. Okay. Then we'll let this resolve. So decay is good to know about because it will stop a lot of our things. Like, it can clean up this detention sphere pretty nice. If we play a rip, it will get our rip. But even right now, I could just see it being enough value to rip anyways. So they're going to go ahead and loam. And loam is interesting. Loam is one of the cards that I could see targeting. So they still have dredgers, and I don't really think they're gonna dredge loam here. So I think I just want to go ahead and pass. What we'd really like is like a Snapcaster here. Or, well, we'd really like a third land. Most likely they dredge Thug here, I assume. This is definitely the type of deck that Dredge likes to face. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and surgical. Ooh. They did dredge loam, which is interesting. We're going to go ahead and get their Narcomoebas, though. Is there anything else interesting in their deck? They do have the Blast Zone. Now they probably just flashback eluding and dredge at least 4. Yep. So at this point, they should have no way to get back Prized Amalgam. So our only worry is just getting burned out. So we're really looking for like another Surgical or a Snapcaster for Conflagrate, however you want to pronounce it. Okay. I think we're going to start bolting our opponent end of turn here. Hey, what's up, Javi gang? How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Getting dredged out. Yikes. Oh, I think we're dead. I mean, yeah, like, this is the problem with dredge now, is, like, they also just have this burn plan that beats you. Dredge is super powerful. It's, like, it's definitely up there for one of the best decks in the format now. It's partially the reason why I felt like they either should have banned Conflagrate or Faithless Looting along with a piece from Hogak. But we'll see. I just think giving Dredge a burn plan was probably a mistake on Wizard's part. Like, it's kind of like the same thing with Hogak. It's why I felt Alter should have gotten banned instead of Bridge. Is you want to take out these decks' alternate win cons. You don't so much want to take out these decks. Just waiting to see it on the stack. Yep. And I'll concede. Alright, so starting off the league with an 0-1. You know, Dredge is definitely a really hard matchup. I felt like our hand was fine. We may not have surgicaled properly. Like, I think the surgical on Bloodghast was, you know, good. But I think the surgical on Narcomoeba maybe could have waited. Like, potentially we were supposed to hold that surgical for the Narcomoeba and tag either the Life from the Loam or, like, the Conflagrate. What do you guys think, chat? Do we keep this hand? It's pretty sketchy, but we are on the draw, and we have an opt. This is London Mulligan. We do have London Mulligan now, though. What do you guys think? Keep or mull? I think I'm leaning towards mulling this, but we do have opt, and we do have a lot of powerful cards. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just mull it. Okay. So this hand kind of has the same problem. We need a third land, but I'm not willing to go down another card here. I think we'll just put a Snapcaster on the bottom. Uh-oh. We definitely do not have a good hand against Tron. I think this deck has like a fine Tron matchup because of all the Field of Ruins plus Surgical. Oh, it's blue Tron. Well, then I think our hand is a lot better. There's been a lot of blue Tron on Moto, apparently. I actually think we're just going to get a Hollowed Fountain here. Even Josh faced blue Tron earlier, I remember. Alright, so we can just bolt our opponent end of turn. Yep, you go ahead and probably grab another Tron piece. Yep. The reason why it was probably is this deck doesn't actually need Tron, like the other Tron variants. It's a lot closer to like Eldrazi Tron than it actually is a traditional Tron deck. It's just instead of playing Eldrazi's and being aggressive, it is a control deck. That being said, I don't imagine many good uses for Lightning Bolt in this matchup, so we're just going to go ahead and send it upstairs. Play our island, pass the turn back to our opponent. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just Spell Queller this. Hey, what's up, Huzzah and Caleb? Glad to see you guys here. We're facing the ever-popular Mono Blue Tron. Alright, so that means my opponent's going to have Tron this turn. Oh, interesting. So that means they're holding something up. So I'm actually going to hold on to these ops because I think my opponent might have like a thirst for knowledge or something. And I would rather just like... Yeah, that's fine. If they just pop map and get Tron, that's okay. It's Jeskai Tempo, so both technically. Well, that's a good one. We're gonna try to opt. I think I'm down for a Lightning Helix. Definitely down for a 4th land. Would also be down for a Field of Ruin. There is no Psionic Blast. If you click that widget on the side of the screen, though, you can see what the deck does contain. I think we're gonna just play this Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass. 3, 6. Yeah, we kind of have to let that resolve, because otherwise our Spell Queller just gets bolted by Ugin. I mean, that's fair. You can give me all the shit you want. I'm just telling you the facts. Quick maths. Not very good matchups, it seems like, on the old... Magic Online today for me. Or Josh, for that matter. So we're going to snap bolt our opponent here. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of how Modern is, you know? Modern's a lottery. So we're going to start by trying to path this Worm Coil. Then we will Spell Queller that. And we're going to die to an Ugin Ultimate. Alrighty. Next game. So I typically board out the Sulphur Falls or the Glacial Fortress, depending on what color we lean more towards. I like Surgical for trying to keep them off Tron. Magma Spray doesn't seem very good. Purge and Rip don't seem very good. Stony is very good. Stroke is good. I like a Braid on the play, not on the draw. Veto's good. Helix is kind of meh. Spell Queller seems under average, but it might be better here. I like Ashiok. Trying to decide. I think the Lava Men come out. The Lightning Helixes probably come out. Man, this is actually pretty difficult because they're also a control deck. So I just like want my counter spells. So I know we're boarding out a land. Let's just say we're boarding out the Sulphur Falls for now. What do you think, Caleb? What's the rest of the sideboard? I think we can maybe trim an opt. What about you, AO? Do you know what to side out? What do you think, Celestine? I really want these lightning bolts. I guess we'll board out 3 Spell Quellers. Even though I don't think it's probably correct. And I would like to be on the play. Maybe one of these surgicals could have came out. Because surgical's like not insane against them. This hand's good, I think. I'll keep. We'll shove this bolt to the bottom. Yeah, I think maybe we only want like 2 surgicals. Because we only want to see one, and we only want to see one when we see it with a Field of Ruin. Grab Hollowed Fountain here. And cast this opt. Oh, I was dumb. I was thinking we were on the draw for some reason. I don't know why. I should have kept in the Abrade. But I guess that's like one more card that I don't know how to sideboard with, so. Hopefully our opponent plays something instead of cracking this map. Perfect. We can get rid of it when we care about it, but we also get to play this Ashiok when they can't fetch their search their library now. We're going to just grab a Sacred Foundry tapped here. Gotta tap that for blue. Oh, well then. Pitching Nimble Obstructionist. They're on the Bird Wizard too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm supposed to expect Force of Negation out of the Tron deck. I could see our deck playing some number of Force of Negations, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm just playing the list Jeff Hooglin played. Yeah, we definitely didn't want all these surgical extractions. Like, I hate that I have 2 in my hand right now. They're basically dead cards. Yep. I cannot pay. So I can't play 1-drops because of this. So I'm just going to fetch now in case they have another Nimble Obstructionist. That's what I'm wondering. What's up with all the blue Tron? Maybe the deck's like the hidden tech or something, you know? Who knows? I think I actually care about this Chalice now. Just because of this path. Yes, I would like to use Detention Sphere's ability. And it's back to my opponent. Yep. Yeah, this is probably pretty over. Yeah, I think one of these surgicals should have probably been a Spell Queller. But I still don't know if we win. Yeah. Well, no, I guess we attempt it. We can attempt the bolt and then disdainful stroke. Okay, that just resolved. I think this game's pretty far gone from us at this point, though. We're down to 4. If only we had this stroke when they played Ugin. That would have been great. Yeah. We're just not getting out of this, unfortunately. So, starting off the league a hot 0-2. Just the way we like it. Damn, we've been popping off on finding people, though. I don't know, this deck felt decent to me when I played it in paper. So I'm not really sure. Inquisition of Kozilek. I think we had 2 pretty bad matchups in a row, though, too. Like, I think even traditional Tron or Eldrazi Tron is probably a better matchup than Blue Tron. Because, like, when we went for that Ashiok, it would have stuck. The old Junder. The classic Jund vs. Jeskai matchup. Except they have a 2-mana Planeswalker. So, it's not looking great for us. Our opponent plays one Lurgoyf. Then fetches to probably pick the land back up with Wrenn and 6 again. As expected. So we're just going to use our mana. We're going to be pathing this Goyf anyways. I'm going to hold the Bolt in case of Bloodbraid, but this Wrenn and 6 is approaching ultimate, which is worth keeping in mind. We'll grab a Sacred Foundry here. Okay, another path is pretty decent. So how's everybody doing? What's your plans for the weekend? Will I see any of you guys in Philadelphia? Ah, the old seasoned Pyromancer. Much wiser than the young Pyromancer. Jen just seems so good now. Maybe I should give Jen a try at some point. Wrenn and 6 and Seasoned Pyromancer just... It seemed like they amped that deck up so much. Okay. Well, I guess we're pathing the Goyf again. Because he's a much bigger threat than the Seasoned Pyromancer. Even though Pyro can make tokens here shortly. We'll grab a Steam Vent this time. Okay. It's not awful. This feels so bad, but I just like need to try to find an answer to this. I don't even know what we have that answers it in the main. Well, I know what we have, but it didn't matter because they were on the play. Yep. Bye, Tefferi. 'Twas nice knowing you. That's fine for us because it gives us time from our impending doom. Yep. I was dumb and put Dovin's Veto mana down, so now they have a Lily of the Veil. This game's pretty over. I don't see the reason to concede yet. Discard this Dovin's Veto. They discard Fatal Push. And then they replace Seasoned Pyromancer. Alright, back to us. We draw Spell Queller pretty late compared to when we would want that card. So we're going to play this fetch, pass it to our opponent, and then hopefully we get to Spell Queller something and then bolt the Liliana. And then we can take the Liliana down. Then again, I might just have to bolt this Raging Ravine. Yeah, that Yeah, you know what? We're dead. We're just going on to the next one. Alright, so the old Jundster. I think I like Field of Ruin against Jund. I don't like Surgicals. Lavamancer seems kind of medium. Same with Magma Spray. Purge seems great, and this is actually a matchup where I'd really like 2 Celestial Purges. Rest in Peace is an option. Abrade does not seem good. Veto's just like our only way to deal with a Renin 6. So I think we have to leave in Veto. The Ashiok seems fine. Shrinks Goyf. I don't want to board out Spell Quellers or Teferi's here, because like if the interaction's not good in this style of matchup, I really don't think it's good. And I think unfortunately, if it's not, that means this deck's probably not that playable. Stroke is not good in this matchup. And we have 5 more cuts. Again, I don't really think this is the Helix matchup. We still have to trim a land. We'll trim the Sulfur Foals. And we'll trim a Click, I guess. I think we're going to leave in a Lavamancer and trim another Click. Click just doesn't seem great here. Yeah. I think this is what we're going to try. We'll leave in a Helix. Because Lavamancer is just so bad into Rest in Peace. And we're already leaving in our 4 Snapcasters because the card's just so good against Jund otherwise. Yeah. I mean, this is what we sign up with this deck, right? Alright. The old Flooded Strand pass. And as always, we get Inquisition of Kozilek. Our hand is pretty good though, so this Inquisition's fine. Our opponent's probably going to be in the tank for a minute, as this is a pretty broad hand. Our opponent chooses Detention Sphere. Not one that I figured they would take. But, oh. That was my bad. I wasn't paying attention. I just F6 through my turn. That's fine. It's not fine, but it, you know, it happened. I was distracted and not paying attention. So we might have to shock here, and it's like just totally my fault. So mistakes happen though. The old Roberto. Okay. So we didn't end up having to shock. steam vents and sacred foundry. Then we'll go ahead and play this plains and pass. They reveal Bloodbraid Elf. That one's gotta hurt. Maybe that's reason to leave more helixes in. We could always potentially go for the burnout plan. Especially when they have a Dark Confidant. Sorry, I didn't realize my opponent gave me priority. I'm still into Spell Queller this. They didn't fetch, and this just allows us to get kind of aggressive. So we get to attack for 2. Put them to 11. Then play this Rest in Peace. And pass it back. Ooh. They flip a land like the true professional that they are. Well, we're gonna lose it, so we may as well use it. Interesting that they didn't go for Bloodbraid Elf here. Maybe they're playing a Liliana of the Veil now. The reason I attacked there with the Spell Queller was I wasn't planning on blocking this Dark Confidant anyways, yeah. So I figured I may as well attack for 2 and try to pressure their life total. Interesting. They choose to let us keep the Spell Queller. We'll discard this Hallowed Fountain. They discard a Tarmogoyf. And we take 2. Colonnade's a pretty good draw. So as much as I want to go on the Bob Kill Them plan, I would really like to keep this Spell Queller in play. Well, I guess this Queller doesn't actually matter with the Goyf under it. So yeah, we're going to actually attack our opponent. The Goyf doesn't matter. They hit Maelstrom Pulse. So at this point, the Goyf will start mattering. But the Goyf would still be big if they minus Lily. Your Inquisition resolves. You will see I just have a land in hand. Opponent goes to combat, gets in for 2. And then I assume we're going to see a pulse on my Rip and a minus on their Lily. I mean, I guess... Interesting. I guess they're just worried about dying to Dark Confidant. I guess they would be at 3, so that's fair. Oh, shoot. Okay, I didn't really... I did, but I didn't screw up. We're going to swing at the lily here because we have this path. And our opponent's in bolt range as is. So the fulminator should be gone, but it's not that big of a deal. Is this the pulse, maybe? They're choosing to pulse Spell Queller. Sure. You can get back your Tarmogoyf. You can get back your 0-1 opponent. So here I'm going to go ahead and pass. Because they're going to sack it on my turn anyways to do exactly this. Okay. Purge is a decent draw. We'll go ahead and pass it back to our opponent. They probably fetch end of turn here. So that way they can Bloodbraid Elf without having to pay life, is my guess. Because there isn't really much of a difference between 3 and 2 at this point. Our opponent seems to be trying to make that decision if there's a difference between 3 and 2. Also maybe evaluating how important the Bloodbraid Elf is to them. We have not used any burn spells. We only have 2 here, so we have 5 lethal draws. I wonder why our opponent chose to just fetch a basic there. So they hit another Tarmogoyf, which is fine. I know they have this Nissa in hand, apparently. A Nissa and a Ghost Quarter. So I think we're fine just purging this. Yeah, I guess we play it just to thin our deck. It's gonna be kind of unfortunate if we lose this game. We were pretty ahead. Jeez, another Bloodbraid. And a Seasoned Pyromancer. Ugh. We just need a bolt deck. Just a little bolt. Oh, that could be. It might have gotten put into the revealed zone from Bloodbraid Elf. I just need a Bolt or Helix deck. All I want for Christmas is a bolt or helix. A bolt or helix. A bolt or helix. Oh, that might be a bolt or helix. There's only one way to find out. A minus on the seasoned pyromancer, since the Bloodbraid Elf has haste. Okay. That might be lethal. Who knows? Our opponent chooses to draw a card. Also, depending on what our opponent does, might just be used to cycle to counter something. Yep, Seasoned Pyro's ability is fine. Discarding 2 lands. Alright, get in there, Nimble Obstructionist. Hopefully you kill my opponent. Okay, so it's a negative on him killing him. Come on, deck. Just give me a bolt, please. Bolt. That might be a bolt. Bolt. That's another turn at a lightning bolt. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. You get into that combat, opponent. Alright, don't have a removal spell, please. Alright, we got to block. Come on, deck. Please give me a burn spell. Liliana of the Veil. That's fine. Just one time burn spell. Burn spell. Depending on how my opponent sequences, that buys us a turn. It all depends on my opponent attacking first or using their run-in 6 first. Just don't plus Lily first. That's all I ask. Damn it. Missed the option to use run-in 6. Same thing. Alright. Well, wasn't this an exciting stream? The old 03 drop a Rooney. Man, I've had some 1-3s, but I don't remember if or the last time I've 0-3'd. That feels really bad. And I don't know, this deck felt really good Friday or Wednesday. But this deck felt like a fucking pile today. So, I don't know. It kind of stinks. The only, like, quote-unquote tempo deck that's really reliable in Modern, it seems like, is Blue-Red Phoenix. And I don't know, maybe I just need to go back to Phoenix. But that deck has just, like, been super inconsistent for me lately, too. Like, I'll either need one land, or I'll either only draw one land, or I'll draw, like, 7 lands. There's, like, no in between. So, I don't know. Thoughts on this deck, recommendations? I don't really know, man. We just kind of got dumpstered on this league. Kind of like what happened to Josh earlier today. I guess it was just Mom's Basement Games gets dumpstered on day. So, with all of that mentioned, I guess before I hop off for the night, I need to tell you guys to check out momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com again. It's the one-stop shop for anything Magic related that you're going to need. Make sure to check us out and buy your singles from here. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, I'm sorry that you just had to see this garbage fire of a league. But thank you for watching our videos anyways. As always, check that description box below for all the links that I'm going to be talking about. Thank you all on Twitch as well as on YouTube in the future for putting up with this honestly just horrible league. And we would super appreciate it if all of you guys gave our Facebook page a like, followed us on Twitter at momsbasementmtg, and everybody on Twitch right now, go over to our YouTube channel and check it out for the sometimes best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, commander, and pauper content. On top of that, I would super appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @RichardTMTG. I talk Magic, League of Legends, memes, anything else you might want to talk to me about. Hit me up. I'm always willing to talk, especially if you want to play TFT. I've been on kind of a TFT kick lately. If you're looking for more content from us, check out Mom's Basement Games on Instagram, or check me out on Instagram at RichieT2196. And with all of that, I think I'm going to go take a cold shower, try to wash all of this bad juju off from this league before heading to Philly tomorrow morning. So, all of you in chat and watching in the future, thank you, have a great night, and hopefully I'll see you all in Philadelphia. Goodbye.